Hello dear friends. In this video, I will help you deal with such a problem as twisting leaves on tomatoes. Because absolutely everyone has encountered it. Both novice gardeners and experienced gardeners. Since this problem is inherent in all tomatoes, and it occurs when certain conditions are created. So listen and watch carefully. To understand once and for all why the leaves are curling on your tomatoes. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below this video. Here in my greenhouse I grow 8 varieties of tomatoes. Now I will go further and show you everything. Also here I have several varieties. All the reasons for twisting leaves can be divided into 2 groups. One is infectious, that's the worst thing. And non-infectious. I want to reassure you right away, mainly twisting leaves on tomatoes, this is not an infectious problem. And easily eliminated. And when it is infectious, you will know about it for sure. This will be clearly visible on the plant. The leaves will be twisted and brown, for example, as late blight or other diseases. Only systemic fungicides will save you from them. And it is easy to cope with non-infectious twisting of leaves. Now I'll tell you how to do it. When it is clearly visible that the whole bush is green, but just leaves curl on it. And here is the first reason, it arises from a lack of moisture. When there is a lack of moisture, the leaf tries to preserve it as much as possible. And it starts to curl, like this. Inside, in a tube, thereby closing the upper part of its sheet, through which photosynthesis occurs, and the moisture evaporates. So if you very rarely water your tomatoes and see that the leaves are curling, then fix it with good watering. Tomatoes like to be watered rarely, but abundantly. Namely, 1 time in 5 days. But you need to pour about 5 or 10 quarts of water under the bush, no less. And it is desirable that the soil is loose. At the same time, moisture leaves well. Or put like me, drip irrigation. By the way, I put a video about such a homemade drip irrigation here, on the right in the tips. Come back later, take a look. We have sorted out the first reason. Now the second reason, no matter how paradoxical it may be, but the leaves are also twisted by the fact that, on the contrary, you have an overabundance of watering. In the open ground, this may be due to heavy rains. In a greenhouse, this may be due to frequent watering, constant and abundant. But the leaf often curls outward. On the contrary, symbolizing that there is an overabundance of moisture, and he tries to evaporate it as much as possible. The solution to the problem is quite simple. In the open ground when you know that rains are coming, cover your tomatoes with some kind of canopy so that moisture goes past the root system, and in the greenhouse just stop watering. For a week, and the whole problem will go away by itself. The third reason for twisting leaves on tomatoes, and it looks like this. Absolutely all the leaves are twisted into a tube, starting from the top to the bottom, they are twisted into a tight tube. It seems that there are practically no leaves on the tomato, it's all because of the high temperature. For example, in a greenhouse, if the air temperature rises above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and this can quite realistically be, then the leaves curl, and in the evening, when the sun has already gone over the horizon, you can go into the greenhouse and see that the leaves have unwound. So it is the reason for the high temperature. There is no need to worry too much here. You just need to create favorable conditions in the greenhouse. This is done using a shading grid. Also, in principle, a shading net can be installed in the open ground. That's how I put it in my greenhouse. Here's a 45% causative grid. The fourth reason why tomato leaves curl. It looks like this. The top of the tomatoes will be very tightly twisted like this. The entire upper part will be very, very twisted. In such a tangle, it will seem that most likely there are some insects there. Well, the tomato trunk itself will be suspiciously thick, the leaves will also be very large. This signals that you have overfed tomatoes with nitrogen fertilizers. In general, tomatoes do not like nitrogen fertilizers in large quantities. Nitrogen fertilizers include the following. From organic, it is an infusion of grass, an infusion of chicken or cow droppings, fermented tea. And from mineral fertilizers it is carbamide and saltpeter. That's if you thought that you would help with these fertilizers. Then you are wrong. You will grow a good green mass, but you will defy nightly not get a harvest. How to deal with such a problem? In order for the top to unwind, just stop applying nitrogen fertilizers. Completely exclude them, and feed it with potassium sulfate, and you will see how in about a week, tomatoes will be straightened out again and will continue to develop normally. The fifth reason why the leaves are twisted. Most often this manifests itself on the lower sheets and the sheet does not even curl, but simply begins to turn out. Like that. Or the leaves are slightly twisted. This is due to the fact that you have been pruning suckers and breaking leaves. And you did it wrong, namely, you removed a lot of suckers. Moreover, the suckers could already be very thick, which grow here from the axils of the leaf. You broke them down, the bush was badly damaged, lost a lot of foliage. And the actual moisture. And he starts twisting the leaves. It is very simple to fix, you need to add phosphorus and potash fertilizers. For example, ash, it is from organic matter. Either potassium humate, or use an infusion of wood ash. Tomorrow there will be a video in which I will show you how to cook it, so do not miss this video. Pour half a liter of this infusion under each plant, after you break the leaves, and this reason will go away by itself. The sixth reason, which cannot be confused with anything, is also the twisting of the leaves, but yellow spots also appear from the upper part, also the drying of the leaves, which means that on the back of the leaf, because here on the stem you have such black midges with wings. And they suck the juice out of your tomatoes. There may also be white-winged insects. How to deal with them, I think it's not a secret for everyone. Buy insecticides that are the most gentle for you and quickly process while the tomatoes are not ripe yet. Any insecticides come out of tomatoes after about 14 days. And they do not bring any harm to a person. Even when you have green tomatoes like this. Well, actually the last seventh reason why the leaves are twisted. Now I'll even show you what it looks like. Look, I have one of the tomato varieties growing here, which twists the leaves from the very top like this. Here are the leaves, they are all twisted from bottom to bottom. They have enough moisture, there is no overabundance. Because it is visible on the rest of the varieties, everything is smooth and everything is beautiful. There is no illness, the temperature here is normal. He leaves are twisted, from bottom to top. At the same time, he does not hesitate and lays a normal harvest. And this is inherent in certain varieties. Of course, I can't know everything, but if you saw on your bush that their leaves are long. See how long the sheet is. And all the leaves are twisted from top to bottom, that's the way I have. Then most likely this refers to the fact that you just tend to this variety. That's all. So friends, if the information from this video was useful for you, be sure to like it. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. And also subscribe to my channel so as not to miss the release of new videos. And don't forget to look also about drip irrigation and about top dressing on my channel. I wish you a good day and see you in the new videos.